Hi, this is Kaery with Kaery Concealed, and today I'm with Mr. Brent Hickmon, and he's a graduate of ASPIC cohort number 6. And we're going to ask him some questions about his time in ASPIC, so come right back.
Palm pepper spray is next generation OC spray. It's hot at 1.4% major capsaicinoids, and its modular design means you can customize it exactly to you. 3 different setups, lots of different color combinations. You can make it exactly as you like. And the flip top safety prevents accidental discharges. It's 10 to 12 foot range and 25 half-second blasts. Make sure that you can keep that long range eye poke at long range. I trust Palm OC and I recommend it for everyone for self-defense.
Welcome back. All right, Mr. Brent, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and what type of teaching you do.
Okay, my name is Brent Hickmon and I am from Colorado. I'm located in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. That's where I live, but I operate the instructor stuff in Cameo Shooting Range. That's my home range. That's
Which is where we are right now. How long have you been an instructor?
I've been an instructor for officially 3 years, but I've been AIing and shooting for like 12 years now.
Okay.
But officially for about 3 years, and since I got my NRA certification, it was just a crash course in instructor development.
Sure.
I also own a holster company.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute too. Haven Defense.
Yeah, I own Haven Defense Co. and we make holsters. So that kind of what got me into the instructor stuff, I guess. I did a lot of work with Adam Winch of Defenders USA.
Yes.
And so now I am the lead instructor for Defenders USA in this area, Colorado.
Okay. Very cool. Awesome. What type of holsters you make at Haven Defense? You do other stuff than holsters too. Like outside the waistband, what else do you do?
Well, I'm getting into competition gear now because it's kind of a market that isn't tapped into really. So
you run a couple CNC machines, is that right?
I got some CNC machines. I'm all self-taught in that.
Yeah.
And
you do amazing work too.
It's fun
You're
stuff.
a pure craftsman, there's no question there.
Yeah, we just finished building a bunch of holsters here for girls at a Girl and a Gun for emergency stuff.
How many did you make yesterday?
Oh, probably at least 20,
Yeah.
but we had extra stock too.
Yeah.
So
It was awesome.
A lot of girls helped. We helped a lot of girls out. So.
It was. We were just teaching. The ASP team was just teaching over in the bay you were making holsters in, and it looks like the Joker died on the floor because there was a bright green and a purple and a red.
Well, these girls like their colors.
Yes,
so
heck yeah, why not?
Like, I want purple. I want bright green. So
That's good stuff. All right, what's your favorite type of student to teach?
I would say my favorite type of student to teach is the new student.
Okay, the brand new student.
Yeah, because.
What do you like about that?
I think my favorite part is the fact that I get to kind of, especially if I'm their first experience with a handgun or rifle or whatever, I can kind of set the tone for however they can learn later on. I don't want to create a bad experience.
Yes, I was just going to say that. And you guarantee them, I mean, you guys always do, you give them a phenomenal first experience, which makes them want to come back. I mean, you guys at Defenders, you guys have a ton of repeat students.
Yeah.
And tons of word of mouth.
We do. And ever since starting, a lot of my students have been repeat, even the same class.
Yeah, yes.
There's so much that it's just, oh, I didn't catch that this time, or as I evolve, I might teach it different.
Sure.
So.
What led you to consider ASPIC?
Well, what led me to consider it was the fact that Adam Winch is a graduate of cohort 1.
He is.
And he told me at one point, he's like, dude, if you can get into it, you should. Yeah. Because I was doing my crash course. I took like Range Master, beginner, and advanced in one weekend.
Wow.
And then I've also trained with Brian Hill, the complete combatant, in his
deliberate coaching. Okay, yeah.
So it was like,
and then ASPIC after that.
do it. So it was pretty much a crash course. So
we're glad you did it too.
It was super fun, but we're sidetracked.
Okay, you're good. So what are your 3 favorite things about your time during the ASP instructor certification course?
I think my 3 favorite things were actually getting to know the other members and
your cohort members.
Of that, and the other things it was less about shooting and more about adult learning.
Yes,
And
yes.
so for
Lots
me,
about
that
adult
was
learning
key.
theory.
And then I think the third thing is it helped me as a personally as an instructor, because beforehand and even during, a lot of my teaching and stuff was trying to emulate Adam because I'm under his banner.
Right, right.
And so for me, I think the top thing was that it kind of helped me grow into my own.
Yeah.
Even though I work for Adam,
Right.
I am my own.
You are,
And
absolutely.
I learned that the most
Yeah.
throughout that whole 6-month phase.
And exactly who you are when you're 100% you
Yeah.
is exactly what your students need more of. And that's
Exactly.
the great part. It was really fun to see that. You're a phenomenal instructor, and I said that while you were in program too, but
Thank you.
it's a lot of fun to watch you work. Okay, what's different about your teaching this year currently than last year?
So we're talking post ASPIC?
Yeah.
Because
Well, so what was it like before you did it?
This year.
That's
It's
a good
almost
point.
Been a whole year.
So let's say you're teaching the couple years before you did
Yeah.
the certification, instructors, and then maybe now. What's the difference? Biggest difference, you would say?
I think the biggest difference is how I try to communicate the
Okay.
information. Because before it was basically a repeat of, or a copy of
Yeah.
what I learned from Adam. And then after ASPIC, it was more my own.
Yeah.
I got some ideas to kind of implement into my own curriculum.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, that's the other thing, as I'm developing my own curriculum, and I did my first own curriculum
Good
probably
job.
a month ago.
Dang,
called
good job.
Decisional Defender.
Okay. Ooh, I can't wait to hear more about that. Tell us a little bit about it.
So it's more so about, like, not necessarily draw stroke and all that, but
Okay.
mental.
Like making a
load.
decision while you have a gun in your hand.
Yeah, and
Okay.
what am I trying to say? The amount of information input
Yeah.
and trying to basically overload the thought process
Yeah.
while you have a gun on you.
Sure.
So
To kind of
just being able to give yourself an exponential amount of skill and surplus of that.
Sure.
Even though realistically a defensive encounter is not that hard.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, your bad guy's pretty much your bad guy.
Yeah.
But if you can build the skill set of your mental load and your cognitive load
Sure.
to be able to make good decisions, and it's still in the process of
Yeah.
development.
I look forward to coming and taking that class when you launch it. I really do, because we
I
need
did it
more
once
of
already.
that. Oh, you did?
I got my first
okay.
one.
Okay. Yeah.
And we
I'll-
did some. The first day we kind of introduced like non-lethal options.
Yep.
And
Good. Because how many
verbal threat
classes
stuff.
marry those things?
Yeah.
Not many,
And I
right?
even had like students have their gun on them and their palms,
Nice.
and be able to try and figure out based on some visual cues.
Yeah.
Like which one to use.
Sure.
In that.
Sure.
moment. Or even
Dang.
go to use
That
it.
sounds awesome.
Go to use it, a non-lethal, and then all of a sudden it becomes lethal.
Yep. That's the type of training we need more of, because that's as real as it gets, and it's contextual. And that's
I
good
try.
stuff. Well, you're
to
clearly
make
you're
it
doing
that
it.
way.
All right. In your eyes, what are some essentials of a quality instructor?
I would say that the top thing for an instructor should be having their student first,
Okay.
meaning and putting aside their ego,
Okay.
because some people get into it for the name.
Sure.
I'm a firearms instructor, right?
Well, there's
But-
like 126,000 NRA firearm instructors, and like fewer than 20,000 teach regularly. I read that somewhere. I don't know if it's accurate, but
It sounds
Yeah,
probably right. But
yeah, laying aside that ego. And
yeah, so I think laying aside your ego and putting your student first.
I like
and
it.
articulating about how you carry a gun for pretty much the love of others, right?
yes.
That's kind of what we teach at Defenders too.
Yeah, you guys do a nice job of teaching that also. All right, two more questions. What is next in your instructor journey?
Next in my instructor journey is
Developing more courses.
Well, fine tuning the one I'm
Okay,
in the
fair,
middle of
fair.
developing. But also, I don't really have any outside training to do. I'm taking some stuff, a competition class with Tim Heron, Riley
Okay.
Bowman, and AJ Zito.
Nice.
I think in May it is, or June, sorry.
Okay.
And then here at my home range, we had a Modern Samurai Project put out a class, so I'm going to take that just
Okay.
for information.
Yeah,
And see what I can pull out of that.
good stuff. So you got some
is-
training coming up?
Yeah, just 2 classes this year.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to try and make it to
The national conference? Yes, I was going to ask about that.
We'll
Good.
see about that.
Good. That's good
But,
stuff.
Other than that, it's just more so trying to hone what I've
Yeah.
learned in the last 3 years and develop it into my own thing too.
I think it's nice to take a pause. I wish I would have done that early on, because I don't know. I should have taken a pause and digested everything I'd learned. Like take periodic pauses to be able to digest.
I would agree, because especially the amount of instructor
Yeah.
training I did the last 2 years.
Yeah, that is a lot.
But now I'm like putting it all together.
All right. Okay, last question. What rabbit hole or passion are you chasing now, or are you really excited about?
That's a weird question. As far as
Maybe
anything in life?
Anything in life. Anything in life.
I don't know. My whole life revolves around this. Now, 'cause I've
It
got
does.
whole
The business,
and
teaching.
teaching. I think that the outside of firearm stuff that is interesting is me and my family have kind of just recently in the last 2 years become Christians. So
Okay.
we're developing in that.
Yes.
So outside of firearm stuff, probably that.
Yeah, that's awesome. You got a great family too. I got to meet your wife, and
Yeah.
she's a phenomenal lady.
She's the
great
only reason
kids.
this thing runs.
Well, thanks for your time today, Mr. Brandt. I really
Thanks for
appreciate it.
having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right, that's it for today.